push an anti-lynching bill. So Rockefeller wasn't going to give up money because they were punching anti-lynching. Packard regarded this as radical act, too radical for the Rockefellers to be involved in, but recommended a continuation of the annual donation nevertheless. Abrupt termination of the $500 gift might be regarded as a rebuke and would carry in the possibility of some kind of controversy. This is the source. At the same time, as NAACP filed Rockefeller Family Archive. At the same time, he was concerned about the radical program of the NAACP. However, Packard was enthusiastically behind the program of the Urban League, beginning with their support of the organization in the 1920s. The Rockefellers were contributing nearly 35% of the League's budget by 1940, and were deeply involved in the internal affairs and management. After returning from the Army, Winthrop Rockefeller, who went to Arkansas, became governor, went on the League's Board of Trustees, and in 1952 contributed $100,000 towards a permanent headquarters. When Winthrop left for Arkansas and the League began to drift, the Brothers Fund, that's Rockefeller Brothers Fund head Dana Creel, searched for someone to take over the leadership role. This is Rockefeller looking for someone to run the Urban League. Creel wrote Winthrop, "I have had several talks with Lindsey Kimball about the Urban League situation and the possibility of going on the board to see what he could do from the inside. 1, to strengthen the board, sharpen the possibility, and redirect the program. 3, help in the selection of Granger Lester's aging white director of the League's successor." Urban League files, Rockefeller Family Archives. Kimball, who became chairman of the League's board, had heard Whitney Young speak in 57 Sociology Convention. Then a professor at Southern Negro College, Young had reached the top of his profession. He had reached the top of his profession. He had little or no hope of being hired by a northern school. He was receptive to Kimball's suggestion that he belonged in the action arena. Here's a white man said, "Look, nigga, you belong in the action arena." Kimball then arranged for both Young and his wife to receive a 2-year general education. That's Rockefeller. That became the Rockefeller Foundation. General Education Board Fellowship for postgraduate work at Harvard. Meanwhile, he persuaded Granger to step down, softened the blow by a grant for a 2-year traveling fellowship from the Rockefeller Foundation. With Granger out of the picture, Kimball installed Young as the Urban League's executive director. It says, in the next decade, Young, who had joined King, Wilkins, and Farmer as the movement's big four, would raise the League's budget from $325,000 to $6 million, making it the country's blue chip civil rights organization. And it goes on to tell you that Rockefeller gave most of that money. That's the creation of a Boule. It isn't just that they were trained in those Negro schools of which most presidents are Boule, but the fact that for doing that, they would be picked and put in places, and that picking and putting was the authority of the whites. One other thing I need to show you here is that in the past, the Boule has been mentioned in the black press. This is the main black paper, the Washington Afro-American, talking about Epsilon Boule, talking about a nice big dinner, naming the names, and they had filet mignon and all the trimmings, and it was at the J.W. Marriott Capitol Ballroom a week before Christmas. It's that, but it just shows that the black press knew of the organization. But their writing on the organization has been puff pieces like this. Continued success to all members of the area Boule, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, and to others throughout the nation. That's the Washington, D.C. paper, the Afro-American. Here's the Amsterdam News, a very aggressive black newspaper in New York. Here's a Boule dinner there, with the Sigma Pi Phi and thanking the families and listing the names. Again, my suggestion is that the black press has known and has never told. And the reason that they've never told is that many of those founding members of the various black presses are Boule families. And that's in a lot. Yes, brother?
I didn't want to get too far because I wanted to throw that in when we were talking about all that survival thing. But for the brothers that are real hardcore and want to be up on some things, you need to get a copy of the Army Field Manual mapping book. That's the name of it. Official training manual teaches you how to navigate the Earth with a lensatic compass. Just like the lens on the camera. Lensatic compass. One good book you'll need, and another good book you'll need is the Alchemist's Cookbook. You get these at survival stores. Teach you all the little neat tricks. These are the particular tools that all the mercenary groups throughout the world train with. The reason they use the Army Field Manual and Map and Contour book is that that's the standard. Because the U.S. Army's been at it a while, and that's the best book you can get on the subject. Also, they have these urban guerrilla units out in their base of operation out here is in Monterey, California. That's the U.S. Army. These boys didn't come out during the ride. They wear black suits, black berets, and they're kind of relaxed, and you know, that 3510 is not there. You know, that neat cut military look. Matter of fact, they're taught to look relaxed, not to shave and all that. Because they want to use them during the day. They have to. They're not military personnel.
Right.
All spook units.
And I can show you that that those various units are being told now to move into communities. They're taking simple positions as grocery store baggers, crossing guards, traffic coordinators. And I'm going to tell you something. Just yesterday, for the first time, I saw one of them damn streets with them cameras over the intersection. Y'all ought to be shaming yourselves. They're going to whip that on every nigga in the country because you let it happen to you. You're the only city in the country with cameras over the intersections. And it shouldn't be no night. You shouldn't be throwing rocks up there trying to bust the damn lenses. This is unheard of. What you say, brother? They got what? Antennas.
Remember the antennas that were next to the poles? Not microwave, I don't know what they are. Low frequency probably? Changes the attitude.
Right, they could change behavior, right. Some erratic behavior could come from signals. Hold on, I'm gonna get you. And that's interesting, but I just make that suggestion. That's too deep. That's too deep that somebody, and they're dropping them up there one at a time, not all in the same neighborhood. Put one in one neighborhood, then put one 3 miles away, then come back to your next, maybe 2 months later, come a block later, yeah. And that's just not a good precedent. That's very dangerous. Yes, Brother Ed.
I just wanted to speak to Brother and I wanted to know where they were.
Huh?
The cameras where they were.
Stand up and just tell them where you know some of them are.
Some of the cameras are Crenshaw in Washington.
Pass it for me.
Crenshaw in Venice. If you go down to La Brea, on La Brea in Washington, and I think also on La Brea in Venice. The thing about them, they're up. Excuse me?
8th and La Brea. They're high up.
They're real high up, so if you're just looking in the intersection, you won't see it. But they're real high up.
They're higher than the street light pole.
Right.
And these are new poles they're putting up. And we need to find us someone on the crew who will give us the map of where they are and where they're going. You need someone? Okay. Well, y'all know what we need. Okay.
I just want to say one thing.
Hold on just a second, brother. Hold on just a second. Brother Ed is going to walk around with this vanilla folder here. If you want to make a donation to the Coakley family, you can. This is up to you. This is strictly optional. You do what you want to do. I'm going to pass it around for those who want to do it. And for those who can do it. That's the only reason of doing it. Don't feel disturbed or pressured. This is plastic. Could have been a Boule head. Yeah, fucking Boule. Get that Greek out your ass. Got a little bent up tension. This is something coming up. I know we got Marcus Garvey Jr. coming here. Brother Roland, when did he be here? Speak out loud. When he coming? Huh? What?
17th and 18th.
17th and 18th of July. Where at?
At the Elegant Manor and
at the Brotherhood Crusade Building and the Elegant Manor on the 16th and 17th. Marcus Garvey Jr., who just started finding out about the Boule, and you're going to hear something soon about it. Now, someone over here had I'm going to take you two brothers. Brother Ed's going to walk around with this, and I'm going to get your question. Then we're going to wind down. I got one thing I want to show you with this. You know, I've been showing you this all night. And brother talked about the beastly nature of the enemy. This is a book on Roman mythology. And it has Romulus and Remus in it, but it has an interesting caption in here about where does this Romulus and Remus story, why does it fit? It says here, just so you can get a beastly idea, it says, who suckled respectively by a bitch and a mare. It is a neat way of accounting for the arrival of a new force lacking background or family. Lacking a force, lacking background and family.
Brother Steve, she had a question for you.
Yes, sister.
I did come here to listen to about the LA.
You want to hear who the LA Boule is?
And do they have some kind of demonic powers with regards to how they pick the people that they utilize to work with them in their organization?
Sister says, do they have some sort of demonic power over the people that they
pick?
Over the people that they pick?
Underneath them.
Underneath them.
Like the politicians, like our local black politicians.
Well, the Boule has a